yeah, so we're getting rid of the whole staff and we got to start new. So we need you, since you're like a good staff member, we need you to train and be the main worker behind her. Okay. Or, well, we have two options. She can take someone else. I stay here and really make my eggs a thing and I get my own billboard. Welcome to And So I Thought. Real stories, hard lessons. I'm Tony Delo, and I share real stories so you don't have to learn the hard way. Now, let's get into it. This is when I was like a little older, probably like I had got a job. This is my first job. Like actually second job. First job I had, and then I lost my second job because I went to jail. But whole other story. Anyway, so for the sake of the story, we're going to call these people David and Nancy. I get a job at McDonald's, so I'm working there for like a month. And Nancy, my boss, she comes up to me. She's like, you know anybody, like, do you have any friends that want to work here? And I'm like, well, I don't know if they want to work here, but like I can ask. And she's like, okay, yeah, ask. So I continued to work that day. She let me off early. I took my apron off, hung it on the rack, clocked out, went out the door, got in my car. I texted my friend David. I was like, hey, I'm coming over right now. Open the door. I'm like about to be there in like 2 minutes because the location was close to my house at the time. Drive to his house. I pull up. I'm like, bro, I got an opportunity for you. And he's like, what? My job is asking, does anybody want to work here? And I told him, I don't know if you want to work here, but I'll see. And he was like, I don't know if they gonna hire me. No, you're good. They're gonna train you. It'll be fine. I'll even train you. It'll be good. Don't worry about it. Well, shit, bet. Trying to get this bread. Like, okay, bet. Now it's Friday and we're at his house and he's like, well, you know, my sister's about to have like some people over, so you should just go home and change and then come back. All right, bet. Let's do that. I leave out, drive down the street, I pull up to my house, get out the car, walk to the door, open the door. My mom's like, oh, hey, how was work? Oh, it was good, you know. Nancy offered David a job, so I told him and he's going to start tomorrow. My mom's like, oh, that's great. That'll be good for him. Yeah, I'm going to go over his house. I guess he's having some people over. She's like, okay, just make sure you get to work. Yeah, no, I will. So I go to my room, get changed, throw in a nice crispy fit, because I don't know what the night's going to bring. Get dressed, text David like, all right, I'm on my way back. Tell my mom, I'll see you later. All right, you know, be safe, have fun. Leave out the house, get back in my car, drive down the street, pull up, and there's already like 2-3 cars there. So I'm like, oh. When I walk in, there's like 3 girls in the kitchen, including David's sister. So I was like, oh. We're all sitting there talking, having a good time. Some time passes by, parents go to sleep. So we get this idea like, let's get drunk. His parents had a bar in the basement with shot glasses aligned along the shelves. We like, shit, we gonna take some of this and just replace it with the water. We go downstairs, we grab the shot glasses, and we distribute it to everyone, and we each get one. David starts to pour up a shot. Then I start to pour up a shot. Then the girls pull her up a shot. We start drinking, and David wasn't a drinker back then. So David, it was the funniest thing. As soon as the alcohol touched the back of his throat, he didn't even fully drink it. He just took a swig, and he was immediately throwing it back up and coughing. His eyes was watering, nose was running, and I'm just like, bro. So he had to like pace himself, and then it was like, all right, he could finally drink. But then David got too drunk. So now David's tipsy. We're like, you know, flirting with the girls, sitting there talking, and then it gets about like midnight, and I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. Like, completely forgot we gotta work tomorrow. So I'm like, hey bro, like we gotta take it in. So he's like, all right. And then so I end up like sleeping on the floor in his room. So all of a sudden, here comes this girl, and she's just sneaking into David's room while I'm on the floor. But like David knocked out, she started touching on me, and then we engaged in consensual, explicit activities. I'ma just leave it at that. While David is just knocked out, passed out, drunk. So I'm like, bro, this is crazy. He just passed out. I wake up the next morning, my alarm goes off. I work the morning shift, so I gotta be there by like 6:30 something. So I get up. I don't feel good. I'm drunk, headache hurt, whatever. And he's just like lifeless. Like, hey bro, we gotta go to work. He's like, dog, no, like we gotta go to work. Bro, I can't do it. Just tell him I'm sorry. No, man, you can't do this, bro. Like, it's the first day. They just asked, and then I got you on, and now you can't make it. I know, I can't. I just can't. And I'm just like, dog. So I'm just like, this gonna make me look bad now. So now I gotta go to work. I'm just like, all right, I gotta go. Like, he not moving, he not getting up. He made his decision. So I'm just like, all right, now I gotta think of like what I can say. And I'm just like, yeah, it like obviously I'm not gonna say this shit, but like anyway. Or I get there. Nancy's like, oh, where's your friend? Man, he got like food poisoning last night. She's like, oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I tried to, but I seen him. He was bad. She's like, no, that's okay. I appreciate the effort. I thought they're just gonna be like, well, so what if he got food poisoning and he's supposed to show up and work? But nah, it ain't like that. I basically covered for him or whatever. I worked the shift. Got off at like 3 or 4. After I got off work that day, I go back to his house. He's awake and alive now, and he's just like, dog, I couldn't. But I was too faded. Everything was spinning. Couldn't do anything. I couldn't get up. I would have been puking everywhere. No, you good, bro. I covered for you. She said you could still come. I just told her you had food poisoning. And then he laughed. So they want you to come in the next shift, which is next weekend. But I'll do that. Thanks, bro. Like I didn't mean to do that. I'm like, you're good, man. You're good. I know things happen. I can't even be mad at you anyways. I was right there turning up with you. I just want to make sure, you still get this opportunity if you want it. Like if you don't want to work here, it's completely fine. But if you want to get some bread, I got you. I told him about me and the girl, and he's just like, I thought I heard something. So throughout the week, I went and got his uniform for him, and I delivered it to him. Fast forward to the next shift. Nancy's like, oh, how do you feel from your food poisoning? And dog just gotta look there like I swear he almost wanted to crack a smile, but he just like, I ate some bad barbecue. Like the mac and cheese smelled funny, but I was so hungry, I just ate it anyway, and it just made me sick, and I shouldn't have done that. Sorry for the inconvenience. Nancy's like, oh, no, it's okay, but we're glad you're here now. And I'm just sitting there just like, dog, this is insane. So fast forward, like I'm working there, he working there, but like different skills at different things because eventually he moved to like certain areas and things like that. I'm working there for about 3 months now. I perfected my round egg technique. If you know anything about the round egg, they're real. Most of the time, most people don't know how to cook them. So when you see them, you won't really appreciate it. But I made it a point to make my egg the best of the best. Nobody had better eggs than me. Like I was standing on that. And it got to a point where now our business is just booming in the morning because the eggs slap. I was like the number one egg guy. So now we're increasing revenue. We got so many people, and this place was in a high traffic area. They had the statistics down to where every 3 out of 5 cars that drove down that road pulled into our location. That's how crazy it was, and that's how good my eggs are. Like I'm being humble, but they were really perfect. So like for the eggs, you had to crack them on the grill, not get any eggshells into the egg rings. You got to clean the egg rings. You got to make sure that your yolk couldn't be more than your egg. It had to be 80% white, and then there was like a little swirl of the yolk. And that's why probably when you go to McDonald's, it's the opposite, and you really taste that yolk. It's not how it's supposed to be. I don't even eat McDonald's anymore because nobody could ever make it the way I did. You'd have to put the eggs in the egg ring, let them cook, let them sizzle on the grill, but you had to pay attention to the timer and make sure that you didn't burn them. I got it down to a science where I could just look at it and I could just tell when it started sizzling and when I could pull it off the grill. But then that's where that stuff started kind of backfiring me because now I'm making eggs off my own instincts and not necessarily following procedures properly. So this kind of started to work against me when we started to have our FORs, which stood for full operational reviews. It was about 3 months after, and they scheduled an FOR. So now I got the pressure on. They're like, yeah, we about to have our FORs. And I'm like, well, it's cool. We got good eggs. And they're like, yeah, but you need to know the proper procedures. And I'm just like, so what I've been doing isn't? And they're like, nah, because I'm doing the wrong process still, I could get rolled up for that. So I'm just like, okay, now I got to learn how to do this correctly, like measure the stuff and all that. So now it's the morning of the FOR. Everybody's been cleaning and panicking all week, and now here it is. And for the sake of the story, we're going to call this man Ronald. He would come in from corporate, and he was an asshole, and he would determine your whole career at McDonald's because one wrong bad report from him and you gone. Everybody cooked. So it's the morning of the FORs. I come in, this guy's just wreaking havoc. Everybody that's cheerful ain't cheerful, and everybody that's normally mad is sad. It's just, I'm like, damn, this dude's crazy. Ronald is in there just terrorizing everybody. I'm just like, okay, well, I've been doing this. I'm good. I'm good with my eggs, so like, I just gotta execute. Like, just focus and execute. He was yelling at my other coworker because the hash browns are a little too brown. And I'm just like, oh, this is what I got to deal with. So then he's standing over me. He's like, yeah, so let me see how you do your round eggs. And I'm just like, all right. Boom, 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 boom. Did it. Homeboy didn't say nothing. And he just writes on his board. Just pure silence. So now I'm starting to second guess myself. Like, saying nothing. He just been yelling at everyone else. Like, what is going on? I'm sitting there just like, dog, come on, man. Like, I'm cooked. He's just writing on his clipboard. And then after, he was like, okay, we passed. He didn't expect it. But the shit was fire, of course. I think the eggs was like a deciding factor in like passing the whole thing. Like, it was a big deal for some reason. Like, if you make these good round eggs, like, you're good. But if you make some shitty round eggs, you're cooked. Now we passed the FOR. We're good. So then, now, this is like a month or two, maybe 3 at the most after. Yeah, so Nancy's going to be moving over to this other area and to head up the store there because the whole crew just got arrested. And I'm just like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, the owner is transferring your store manager to this other place because the whole staff got fired for getting into an altercation in the public with the customers. And that was like the most professional way they can say it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah, so we're getting rid of the whole staff and we got to start new. So we need you, since you're like a good staff member, we need you to train and be the main worker behind her. And I'm like, okay. Or, and I was like, there's a or. Well, we have 2 options. She can take someone else, or I stay here and really make my eggs like a thing, and I get my own billboard that says Anthony's Eggs because it was in a high traffic area. And I'm just like, dog, what? Here I am, 18, about to get my own billboard, bro. I'm just like, at the time, this was what, 2008. I was making $750 and I was going to move up to like $850 just to go a little bit further down the road. I'm like, and it was literally a choice of like the money or the fame. And I'm like, man, I'll go over there. Plus, I'm loyal to a fault. It's always been a thing. I felt obligated. Like, this is who I started with too. So we gonna finish this out and we gonna fix that other place and we gonna do good things. So I thought, gave up the billboard opportunity. I was like, nah, I'll just go with her and we'll help build that one up. And they're like, okay. So I got my raise as me and Nancy prepared to go to this other location. So me and Nancy are sitting there brainstorming, trying to figure out how we can implicate our methods into this new location store and also while also having their people on board with the new way that we're doing things. I got to take the week off. So finally, a week passes by. I wake up in the morning and my mom's aware of the whole situation. So she's like, good luck on your first day at this new place. And little did I know I was going to need it. I left the house, I got in my car, and I'm driving to this new location. Like I said, it's like 10 minutes down the road. So I'm driving past the other location where I used to work. This other location wasn't in a good area. So the vibe was just already just different as soon as I pull up. I get there, I pull in the parking lot, I see this place, I look around, I'm like, dang, like the parking lot's dirty, the grass is overgrown. Like, oh yeah, this we need to do some real work here. So I get out of my car, I walk in, Nancy's in the store and she's sitting there talking to the other store manager. Come to find out, they fired like half of the staff that fought and not other people. So then there's just like this lingering animosity with these people in the public. And I'm just like, "Dawg, this is crazy." So then, so I meet this guy, his name's Lance. And he was like the man there. Like everybody rocked with him. He walked around like he was the shit. But like, I'm cool. I ain't intimidated by people like that because I want to see everybody win. So I'm not weird or jealous or anything. I don't have those traits. So Lance is like, hey, he's like, do you smoke? And I'm like, and I hesitate for a second because I'm like, I don't know this dude. Like, is he just gonna tell on me and get me fired? Like, I just got here. He's like, it's cool, bro. We all smoke here, so it's not a big deal. And I'm like, oh. He was like, well, I smoke on my break. If you want to, we can burn one. And I'm like, all right. So then that day started this whole thing of just every break, I'm just getting fried, getting fried, getting fried, getting fried, come back, getting fried, come back, get fried. And we just working, whatever, like not saying shit, just working. They're like, oh, they high. It was like, whatever. So then one time, now we done got a little bold with it because this spot was maybe like at most 5 or 6 streets down the road. So we pulled up to his house and he was like, bro, we gonna hit my bong. And I'm just like, dog, you tripping. He's like, we gonna hit the wax. It was some crazy shit. And I'm just like, dog, I don't know. We at work. And he's like, no, you'll be good. You'll be good. He's like, just one hit, you'll be straight. And I'm just like, all right. So I thought that's when I learned. No. That hit, I was so damn zooted out my mind. I ain't know what to do. I was like, I don't even know how to drive back, let alone was to go back to work. He drove and we went back to work and I was high as shit. Everything up and I couldn't remember anything that I was doing. And people were just looking at me like, bro, you can never do this again. You got to get your shit together. And I'm just like, I know. This is insane. Like, I will never do this again. I was past the point of no return because, like, I'm fried on my break. And now I'm at work and I'm just like, dog, no, never again. Never again. So I found myself just participating in activities that I probably shouldn't have, for the lack of a better word. And things just started to go downhill from there. I remember one time this lady, I was sweeping. I didn't know shit about shit back then. I was sweeping and I swept this lady's feet. Boy. She looked at me like I just punched her kid. And I'm like, bro, what? She's like, you don't ever sweep someone's feet. And I'm just like, I'm just cleaning and your foot happened to be in the way. It wasn't intentional or nothing like that. And she's like, no, it doesn't have to be intentional. It's superstitious. And then when she said that, I was like, I mean, I get it. Because I was kind of a little, I ain't never really get into the black cats thing because that was never a thing for me. But like, I get it. So I was just kind of like, all right, my bad. Like I ain't know all that. So a little time went by and I started acting like I was bigger than the program. So I started showing up late to work. My shift started at 7, but I got there at 8. This went on for 3 months. And then they were finally like, This is the last straw. So I got fired by the other store manager that was previously there because she was just fed up with me being late all the time and messing up everyone's shifts. I didn't really think about it back then. I was just getting some extra sleep. But luckily, I was able to go back to the original location. And by that time, that store had changed over. And I'll save that for another story. So what did I learn? Loyalty to others should never cost you your own opportunity. Sometimes there is no right choice, just the one you made and what you learned from it. Are you avoiding an opportunity out of loyalty? Or are you chasing one without fully understanding what it might cost you in the end? Next week, episode 6, The Hill. A 2-week camping trip, a shattered pinky, and a cast that followed me for the rest of the school year. I'm Tony Delo, entrepreneur and the host of the And So I Thought podcast. Thanks for listening. See you next week.